Hey guys, so I don't usually make a video Friday, but because I get lazy and it's gonna be the weekend and I usually go out. But today it is the Jake Paul fight, so I am staying home. Today's like a homebody day, the depressed day, right? So today was actually a pretty bad and a good day. I'm gonna explain that to people that actually might have lost money today because it was a pretty choppy 2.5 point down, right? So in that sense, right, people don't understand the risk to reward and don't understand the market context, right? That's the only way you would have lost money today if you didn't understand market context, right? So I'm gonna share that with you guys right now and understanding the market context. That's gonna be the title of the video. Thank God, found a title for the video. Yahoo. Okay, so market context, right? So the 5 minute is gonna be more useful, but I'm gonna also show you in the 30 minute. So if you watch this beginning of the week video, I told you guys about the bear flag. Go back to my video on Tuesday, I believe. I literally have it titled "Bear Flag Forming" or whatever with question marks, exclamation points. Yeah, so you saw that, right? So, um, I could have already seen this coming and I was already ready. And if you watch my next videos, the same video, I already labeled it out, like, right? So what's gonna happen if we gotta head down, right? So, yesterday we did see that pretty good inverse cup, right? And then that handle, right, at the end of the day. Um, so then today we just opened lower, which is fine, right? And then we just grabbed the liquidity from um, here, right? And then straight down, right? So the target is always the 20-day, right? So when you see this right here, right, the target will always be 20 days. So if you held it down there, the 20-day, 6 points, right? So that if that's the first market context you have to understand, right? So where is the next level of support, right? Right? So where is that level of support and where does this cup close, right? Where does this inverse cup close? 20-day, okay? Easy as that, simple as that. 20-day moving average was what the target was for today, right? So all we had to look out for was the entries now. So in the 1 minute, oh, and then this was a beautiful help as well. So in the 5 minute, I already had this labeled out, but in the morning, right, you saw the building of liquidity in teal, right, and then the left shoulder head, and then the right shoulder off of the rejection of purple, and I'm gonna show you that in the 1 minute. That was the first entry, so you could have gotten that entry at 589 all the way down to 584.46, right? So five and a half, 6 points, right? So I'm gonna show you that in the 1 minute, but then also you have to pay attention to the risk reward, right? So over here, right, you do not try to short or open a position right here, right, unless of course the risk reward present itself, right? In this sense there was a little scalp right here, right? But I'll again, you see the bounce off the purple, right? And I've been telling you guys about the purple the whole freaking week, man. The purple, 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 right? This is very good area of bounce or support, right? Where the sellers cannot just push out, right? So what the obvious scenario here is the building of liquidity, right? So left shoulder head, right shoulder, right? Then you notice the yellow, right? And then we couldn't break out below the yellow. We couldn't form the right shoulder off of yellow, right? So we didn't break out of that. So then the market wants to build more liquidity. You cannot go long, bro. You see the orange right here? You see how it's tapering, the long wicks, rejection wicks, right? You cannot go long until we at least break up above and then retrace and then head up, right? So what we were waiting for here was, right, the double top, right, which did happen. So ultimately the break of the orange algo right here at 12 11:30 11:35, right? I did take this trade. So 1 2, right, and then the third trade right here, right, when we saw the break. So what happened was close of the inverse cup, handle, right, off of orange, right, and then the break off at 11:55, right? And then the rest of the bit was choppy, right? So it is not the best trade. Rest of the chop from around 585 to the rest. So this one point, right? You could have sat out. It's whatever, right? But the whole trade focus on getting the entry right here, getting the entry right here, and getting the entry right here, right? If you try to take entries, for example, right here, right? What happens? The purple is right here, the blue is right here, right? So you're obviously going to be chopping here, right? There's just so much support in the area, for example, right? And then the sellers can't break through, right, as well. So left shoulder here, right shoulder, you see the sellers couldn't break through this yellow, right? First try, then the second try, left shoulder head. We broke out, but there was no continuation, right? So same, again, they have to build liquidity, right? So basically, you're exhausting buyers as well, right? When you're doing this, when you're building this, it's like the sellers and the buyers are fighting with each other and seeing who gets exhausted, right? That's the same point, right? And I'm going to show you several exhaustion points. But yeah, so you really did have to pay attention to the supports and time it, so or get the entries where there is sufficient risk reward, right? So first trade. So this is the first trade, right, that I showed you in the 30-minute, right? Beautiful right shoulder, left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder that formed, right? So for the right shoulder, one candle, two candle, third candle rejection, right? And the third candle, you always have to wait for 3 candles. I know it sounds like kind of like it sounds kind of weird, but that is it's like you have to pick up on the signs, right? The first candle right here, second candle, third candle, that forms that right shoulder and the break, right? And then we are guided down by this red selling right here, right? But there's even a stronger selling that appears, right, later on. So that's how you manage the trade. And again, why are we tapering here? Because of support, right? The support on 30-minute and then the 5-minute, right? Right here you can see the purple, right? We're bouncing off purple right here, right? So that's what that so obviously if we can't break through, right? So what happens is, right, we don't activate the strong selling, okay? So we don't activate it and we can't break through with the strong selling, right? We taper here. So what's gonna happen? Build liquidity, right? It's kind of like pre-K, pre-K stuff. So what obvious scenario here is we have to build the liquidity, and that is what we did. So basically off of yellow, orange, right? So we built that liquidity, and then of course teal as well, right? So again, what the teal is for, right? The teal is the overall inverse cup, handle, and then the right shoulder on the handle, right? So that's the third trade, but I'm going to show you the second trade as well. So here, what I meant by buyer exhaustion, right? So you can clearly see the tapering, and sometimes people think tapering is a form of reversal, which sometimes it is true, but sometimes it's also building liquidity, right? So you can notice to see that buyers were reclaiming it, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder right here. Then you see the blue, right? And you can see the buyers were trying to do it, right? But what was happening is we were still tapering at the top. They were getting exhausted, right? You can see every time we touch yellow, every time we touched orange, right? We are tapering at that top, right? Meaning the buyers are getting exhausted. They don't have the power to move up either, right? So when you do exhaust the buyers, right? So this is why this is actually pretty fun, but I like to basically do a couple, like, I get the itch, right, sometimes, so I will occasionally take like a couple contracts sometimes, right? So I'm not feeling bored, right? So that's what I do. But also in this scenario, right, where you see multiple times that the buyers get exhausted, right? One time right here, right? One time right here, right? And especially right here where we formed that basically the head and shoulders, right? So basically that was a sign for me to basically size up, and I did size up. I entered with a lot of contracts right here. If you want proof of that, I will send you that. Send me a message on Instagram. I'll show you the amount of contracts I took. But yeah, this was a second trade that was so beautiful because you understand the market context, right? um, you can see the buyers getting exhausted, still tapering right here, right? Then the orange, right? And then we form this left shoulder head, right? And then this right shoulder right here, beautiful right there. And on the right shoulder, left shoulder head, right shoulder right here, and then beautiful break. And then this is where the strong selling did activate, right? And then we were still in this red selling, right? So after we close the cup, inverse cup, right? Of course, there's gonna be the handle. So that's gonna be a third entry, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and that's the last entry for today, right? And then again, what's the target? The 20-day, which is right here, right? When you see price so close to 20-day, it will almost always exactly or test 20-day, right? It will test 20 days. So even if it's chopping, I do suggest you manage the trade pretty well to at least the entry point, right? Hold runners. If it is choppy, I don't. You can mostly hold runners, right? Because if I have a full position, I'm gonna have to constantly worry about it. So what I did here was I actually sold off mostly at right here, right? And then I just held the runners, and my stop was at my original, like my third entry, right? So you can see we never even touched it. And again, my final take profit is gonna be at the 20-day, right? So yeah, and usually, like now what's going on, right? The risk reward, what I talked about, right? You can't take a trade where the support is right here, right? And we're testing above support, right? You cannot short this at all because what's here? Support, right? Same thing right here, right? You can see how even if you try to short right here, right? If you got a good entry right here, that's fine. But if you try to short anywhere here, like what you get caught right here, right? And then you're in a chop, and then the market wants to build liquidity, and then you're basically negative, right? So that's what you have to pay attention to. And basically I'm going to show you over on the 5-day as well, right? 5 minute, I mean, right? Oh my god, there's a lot for today. But you can see, right? Left shoulder head, built that good liquidity, the little drop, right? Same thing, we built that left shoulder head, right shoulder, built that liquidity. And where's that support? At the next purple, right? So we have that beautiful drop to at least that support, and then we have that bounce again, the handle here, right? Then we build enough liquidity, and then we drop again, right? Same thing here, we're building that liquidity, right? So but we didn't have that drop. You can see how the left shoulder head, we didn't have that drop right here, right? So the market, it's probably because it's a Friday, it wants to chop like this. But yeah, you have to pay attention to the support algos and just trade with the proper risk to reward, right? Because you don't have to catch all of the trades, but if you just catch that one trade that gives you that good risk reward, that's all it is, right? That's all you need for the day, right? You don't want to be too greedy and try to enter every single trade, right? That's how you basically you will get chopped out. And if you overtrade, you're gonna always, you gotta control that, and that's how you succeed. That's like, because everyone has this problem of overtrading, of every time they have to enter a trade, right? That's not the case, right? For example, this my second trade at 11:33 when the breakout after right here, right? So the break right here, right, at 11:30, that is where I decided to size up on, and that is where I believed it, because the structure, that is what the structure said, that is what the context said, and that is what I was looking for, right? And the risk reward was super good there, right? Imagine taking the short from here, right, where the purple is right here. So we still have a very good amount right here, right? Even if we did bounce from here, right, we're still more than almost a point, right? So that is still worth it, but again, we just had enough selling to even dig deeper, right? So that it made it more than worth it, right? But even if we did bounce here, right, it was more than worth it to take the trade, right? So that's what I just want to say. And even here, for example, taking a scalp right here, I think I did take it. Where is at that time? 10:55. So the scalp here would be the double top right here. So left shoulder, the double top, and the break of orange right here, right? And that gave us another good risk to reward, right? And we can tell that because if you come on the 5 minute, sorry, so you can see um, the purple here, right? But you can also see that good structure enough to take the trade with the strong selling down. Oh my god, I can't even freaking draw. So the strong selling. Oh my god, right? So that's another good trade, and we broke below yellow, right? So that's the confirmation. However, we didn't get a right shoulder off of yellow, right? So yeah, you have to see that the market wants to build more liquidity to go down, right? And then the third trade, second trade that I took. I didn't really take this trade, but it was possible. But so in total, my trade started. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Okay, so first trade right here shows you that context. So second trade, this was a possible second trade which I did not take, but because I just wanted to see that rejection off of yellow, but we didn't get that right, of course. But my second trade then was off here, right? When I saw that double top here, right? The second trade right here. Then my third trade would be right here, right? After the handle formed. So pretty simple. And then of course you have to notice the support blue, right? Just manage that and have your stops pretty set. And then obviously you know your target, which is the 20-day moving average, right? So all in all, this you cannot be entirely short yet, because you notice that we've built so much liquidity here, right, that we can have an immediate reversal, right? And that is what can happen next week, right? So I'm gonna show you that right now if I can get this to work. Okay. So this is gonna be a long video, but it's because I'm like being in depth. I'm not gonna lie, I should charge money for this. I'm such a nice guy. Okay, anyways, so here, first set of algos, right? Left shoulder, head right here. You can also enter. Okay, I'm gonna make it another one right here. Sorry guys, I just want to make every single one right. So this is gonna be the purple, whatever. All right, my colors are all messed up. Okay, don't mind me. Okay, so the first is, oh my god, now it's gonna be hard as hell for you guys to see. Okay, I'm gonna just change it. Oh, my back hurts. That's why I don't do videos on Friday, because I'm just so left shoulder, head right here, right, and on the head you're gonna form that right shoulder, right, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So it's like an inverse head and shoulder right here, which brings us up all the way right here, and we're gonna basically grab the liquidity right here and then close the cup right here, right? And that is the liquidity that is possible that we did form on this left shoulder. Now we could possibly form the head right here, right? So the market sometimes is very unpredictable. It will go down to basically 16 points to go back up, right? So to see the short confirmation though, you need to still see it close. So basically after here, you need to see the market build that liquidity and then possibly like a drop, like a right shoulder right here and then a drop, right? But we are guided down by this selling channel right here right now. So and then the play is to the gap, right? So like there's a massive gap right here, right? So next week, if we are short, we can get a 10-point move, honestly. So be careful, or not be careful, but look out for that, right? So just wait for some type of right shoulder off of 583 at 584 to take the gap, to take the right shoulder and then down, right? So yeah, pretty simple if we are headed down, right? But again, wait for the building of liquidity. Wait, this is still strong support. Wait till at least a right shoulder. I don't think it's gonna happen, and I don't even care if it happens. I'm too tired for this. But yeah, wait out for that. But ultimately, also you want to see the 20-day as some sort of resistance. So on the 5-minute, I'm gonna show you as well. This is why it's so good to have different time frames, right? Because you can see the left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder right here. Right shoulder of some sort right here, right? Depends if we close an inverse cup and then we just head down, right? And then you make sure we stay in this purple selling as well, right? So pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty nice. Oh yeah, I'm going batshit crazy, bro. Yeah, no one freaking appreciates me, bro. All right. Oh my God, 21-minute. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can. God, this is gonna take. Okay, see, I yapped for 21 minutes. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Oh, Monday.